all about big stakes on this week's midweek wrap-up. We've got three shows.
So many steaks.
3 shows.
Beef steaks.
A lot on
Pork
the line
steaks.
on each show. And we're going to start out
Lamb
with
chops.
main event, where the first match is probably the biggest stakes we have on this midweek wrap-up is who is...
Prime rib.
Who is jobbier between Zack Ryder and Tyler Breeze?
Is it jobbier?
Jobbier?
Or is it jobberer?
Jobber, I feel
Or who's the jobberist?
the jobberist. Yes, who is the jobberist between?
Who's the jobberwocky?
No, because the jobberwockies get. I don't know. Never mind. No, this is the face that loses all the time and the heel that loses all the time. So something had to give here, unless someone was going to interfere and make it a double count out, which they did not. Zack Ryder would actually end up picking up the win with what he calls the elbow drop.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze was able to avoid the Rough Rider, went for a splash in the corner, got hit in the face with the knees of Zack Ryder, and Zack Ryder would hit the elbow drop. And it is official that Tyler Breeze is the jobberist.
He's the most jobbing.
Yay. And speaking of jobbing, Ryback beat his 4th member of the Social Outcast, though Bo Dallas put up one hell of a fight. Bo Dallas had the most offense out of any member of the Social Outcast.
Well, he also has the most straps out of
This is true. He had the most strength out of the 4 members, and it's because he wears that singlet. If he would have taken down the straps, there's a good chance he could have beat Ryback. Unfortunately, Ryback would assault him once again and hit the Shell Shock for the win. And then in our main event, we had Divas tag team action. We had the what do they call themselves? It was
Naomina?
No, I'm calling them Team Bad. Fuck that shit. No, it was the Crazy Cat Lady and
WWE's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, WWE's Miley Cyrus. There we go. Team Cray Cray. Team Cray Cray versus Team Bad. Team Bad picking up the win. Natty was distracted by, I believe Paige got taken out on the outside by Tamina. And she was like, Paige, what are you doing? You got to get back in here. And she turned into a rear view. Or she didn't turn into a rear view, but she walked into the rear view done by Naomi. I don't know why she's still using that move. She needs to go back to that submission, because that's a way better finishing maneuver. Good match, though.
Yeah, no, the match itself was really, really good. King had a funny, awkward joke during the entrances.
Natty
stopped at a sign that said the pink and black heart attack, and he made a joke about it getting uncomfortable around when people say heart attack.
Well, yeah. Kind of happens when you die. But you are the king. So, make all the cheesy... No, I was talking to Jerry Lawler because he watches the show on a regular basis. So, Jerry Lawler, you are the king, so you have all the right in the world to be as cheesy as you want, but let's just stop.
Go ahead and be as cheesy as you want, but stop.
There's only so much... There's only so many king jokes I can take before I'm just like, alright, I'm done. And it's usually about halfway through Raw, and I'm like, alright, I'm done. Luckily, he's on SmackDown now.
Yeah. That's how cheesy his jokes are. It's halfway through the show he's not on anymore, and you're already done with
I'm I'm so done with king jokes. If he does any more on SmackDown, I'm going to lose my shit. Moving on, we have NXT. We open up with William Regal talking about what happened last week when Baron Corbin attacked Austin Aries during his debut.
Which was not a very polite thing to do.
No, it's kind of a dick move.
Kind of a dick move.
Normally, William Regal would suspend and or fire Baron Corbin, but he was asked not to by Austin Aries, and we have our first...
Austin Aries is a nice guy.
Yeah. We have our first official match for NXT Takeover Dallas. It will be Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun to see. But then we only
It's going to be interesting because I'm used to seeing Baron Corbin fight guys much smaller than him. Mm-hmm. But Austin Aries is going to take the cake.
Oh, yeah. No, Austin Aries
This is basically going to be like Baron Corbin versus White Kalisto.
I'm really interested to see how well Baron Corbin works with Austin Aries.
Who knows?
The fact that we haven't seen Austin Aries actually wrestle anyone in NXT yet should be interesting to see. But we are about to find out our second match for NXT Takeover Dallas. And that is, we only have one match on this NXT.
Yeah.
Only one match.
It's an hour-long Iron Man match between Eva Marie and Cameron.
No, it is not. It is the 2 out of 3 falls match between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn to determine who will face Finn Balor at NXT Dallas for the NXT Championship. I really like this match.
It was a good match. It wasn't without its faults. They did have some clumsy spots and some things that didn't look quite organized. But they had a lot on their plate because they were going for the full hour of the show.
Yeah, it was. Despite
or close to.
Despite what I've said about the two, the terrible endings that they've had in the Triple Threat and their singles match a couple weeks ago, I think this really was. I think this match specifically was worth it. It was a good story that they told because they threw everything at each other in this match.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
And they really had to find their spots in order to get the falls that they did. The first fall would go to Samoa Joe. He'd be in the corner. Sami would go for corner clothesline. He would get caught with an ST Joe and then set up and hit with the Muscle Buster, therefore giving Joe the slight advantage at the beginning, 1-0. Joe. What?
I was going to say the second fall sort of surprised me a little bit.
All right, good. Take the second fall.
The second fall.
The second fall.
The better call Saul second fall. Covered in salsa. Definitely took me a little bit by surprise because Sami took it via submission.
Yeah.
Which is something you don't normally see with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe normally doesn't submit very often. Hence why he's usually called the Samoan Submission Machine and not the Samoan Submitting Machine.
Yeah.
Or the Samoan Knitting Machine. But that would be fun. Joe, take up knitting.
The Samoan, he's got like 30 years before he's got to do that.
Oh, okay.
Give him till he's in his 60s or 70s, and then he can
take up knitting.
Then he can take up knitting.
Take up knitting late.
He's got shit to do.
Yeah, but yeah, so Sami Zayn hits a, I don't know, we call it a complete shot or a flatliner,
whatever you want to
face bustery type thing. Swings his leg over, hooks the fingers, and puts Joe in the Koji clutch to make him tap out.
Yeah, and then the third fall is where things really start to pick up. This is where we see a lot of
business picked up.
A lot of Sami's dives to the outside. We see the tornado DDT through the turnbuckles. Joe is constantly he hit that STO on the outside.
Yeah.
Really trying to go for the count out victory. Trying to pick up the real easy second fall to send him to Dallas. And it was a battle of who was going to hit the other one harder, who could hit that hard move first that could really just pave the way for him. And Sami was about to hit that. He got Joe in the exploder suplex, hit him into the corner, went for the hula kick, but Joe was able to duck out of the way. Sami got caught on the top rope and then dragged off of the ropes into the Coquita clutch. Sami was actually fairly close to the ropes and was starting to reach with both arms, but it was when Joe swung his leg up and trapped his right arm that Sami couldn't move. Sami therefore passed out, and Samoa Joe is the #1 contender and will face Finn Balor at NXT Dallas.
Gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah?
I was voting Sami.
Well, he's on the main roster now. He can't be going for no NXT title.
Well.
He'll be at WrestleMania.
Kevin Owens did it.
That's true. He was already champion before he went up to the main roster, though. That's the difference. Alright, moving on to Lucha Underground.
I was just hoping they weren't going to be that predictable with it.
Well, face versus heel.
Well, no, more just like, oh, Sami shows up on Raw, and now, oh, he's definitely not going for the title now.
Yeah, I wish they would have. I kind of wish they would have saved the Sami Zayn debut for next week, because then we could have had that, like, okay, Sami obviously didn't do what he wanted to on NXT, so now he's gonna move to the main roster. But what you gonna do? Gonna watch it anyway. All right, Lucha Underground is up next. We start off with the Mac asking Sexy Star to be in his corner because he has a match with Marty the Moth, which opens up this Lucha Underground. She's very tentative. She doesn't want to be a part of that situation.
But you know who doesn't seem to have an issue with Marty the Moth?
Huh.
Melissa.
She thinks he's fucking ridiculous. By the way,
she had a hard time not
Sexy
laughing.
Star does agree to be in his corner. But yeah, we go to the ring, and Marty the Moth is right behind Melissa Santos as she's doing the introduction for the match. And he's just doing his creepy moth thing, and like, I don't know if he whispered something into her ear, but like at the end of announcing him, she slightly giggled at whatever he did or said, and it was pretty.
She even did like a one-armed moth flap when she said the moth.
Yeah. Oh God, she's part of that cult.
Yeah.
She's
Cult of the Moth.
Yeah. It's the moth tribe.
It's the it's the Martinez family.
Melissa Santos Martinez.
Yeah, Santos is just like her married name.
Yeah, and then she's not married.
She's now.
Oh shit.
To somebody with the last name Santos.
All right. But we have Matt come out. He's facing Marty the Moth. A very physical match. We see Marty do a dive to the outside. Very, very impressive.
Good.
He's got some hops. He takes. You feel better?
A little bit. Sorry for the podcast people. I just bounced right in your ear.
Hope you weren't wearing headphones when you listened to that one.
Yeah, I hope you were.
You're kind of a dick.
I just want to burp sweet nothings right in your ear.
Now, for those of you who listen to the podcast, he's got the tiniest bandana on. It's actually a shoestring.
Go for a little.
YouTube people, this is a treat for you. But no, we had.
What a treat!
Yeah, we had. Despite how weird he is and the mind games that Marty the Moth is able to play, the Mac was firmly in control for most of this match.
That's what I'm gonna wear to Coachella.
You're a moron. He had Marty down, was going for something off the top, probably Swanton, maybe a 450, whatever. It's the Mac, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But
yeah.
The lights go out, and I love the way that this all kind of happened, because the lights went out, and then we had a spotlight come on. And
Sexy Star starts panicking.
Yeah, Sexy Star starts freaking out, because you hear like this creepy music playing.
Yeah, it's like an eerie ambient sound.
Almost like a music box.
And then music box comes in, and then like wing fluttering noise.
Yeah. And initially, Matt Stryker said, "Oh, we're having some technical difficulties here. We'll try and get it righted here at the temple." And then the introduction of Mariposa, who is fucking... It's like... It's Luchador Silence of the Lambs. She's got a cape that's totally made out of human skin. She's got... Her mask... It looked like a Luchador Hannibal Lecter mask. It was weird. And so the Mac is like, the fuck is going on? Sexy Star is like curling into the corner of the ring and is losing her fucking mind.
Fetal position.
She's freaking the fuck out. Lights come back on. Martinez is able to knock down the Mac, goes up and hits a curb stop off of the second rope, picks up the win. And then we have both Mariposa and Marty kind of taunting Sexy Star while she's in the corner, and like Mariposa actually like beckons Sexy Star to like stand up, and then she kicks her in the face, and it's a fucking weird situation. Like,
I liked it.
I didn't. That's how weird it was. That's what I don't know what it's just. It's bizarre. And we'll see where this goes, possibly next week. But up next, we had our nunchuck battle.
Yeah.
We had Jack Evans taking a piss, and as soon as he steps out of the stall, Drago grabs him by the collar, shoves him up against the wall, and says, "You want to call yourself the Dragon Slayer?" Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, PJ Black shows up behind him with his set of nunchucks.
Well, it's the Jack Evans original set of nunchucks.
Was it?
Because Jack Evans left the nunchucks in the ring.
Oh, that's right.
After he tried to interfere, I think it was PJ Black versus Drago or something, or one of the some of it. It was Drago came out after the PJ Black versus Jack Evans match, and PJ Black ended up unintentionally getting clocked with the nunchucks.
Right.
And so when he was left in the ring after Jack Evans had taken off and Drago left, PJ had the nunchucks in the ring with him.
Ah, okay.
And he picked them up and walked out of the ring.
So he shows up. And, Drago thinks he's about to beat up Jack Evans, but Jack Evans is like, I don't think that's going to work out too well for you. So Drago turns around. He starts facing off against PJ Black. He ends up kicking Jack Evans in the face, and he kind of spins out of frame, but when he comes back in, he's got his own pair of nunchucks. And then it's officially 2-on-1 at this point. Drago's taking them both on. Then eventually the numbers game works in their favor. They get Drago down. They're choking him. They're talking trash in his face. Lights go out, and then we see Sparks.
Oh, first I want to mention how Drago materializes a pair of nunchucks.
Oh, that's right. Fuck yeah.
Also,
no, he's goddamn dragon, bro. A
nunchuck dragon?
Yeah, he's a ninja dragon.
Oh.
He's ninja warrior. No, he's a ninja dragon, and he can do whatever he wants. It's like fucking it's magic, bro. He's dragon. Because dragon. So yeah, he materializes his own pair of nunchucks, but eventually he gets taken down. He's getting choked, getting trash talked. Lights go out. Sparks happen. We hear a voice.
Jericho's jacket appears.
No, it was Iron Man. It was
Light Bright Man.
It was LED Iron Man.
I won't call that LED. That was definitely like a Light Bright.
It was Aerostar.
Poked through his shirt.
Aerostar with glow-in-the-dark nunchucks.
AKA DX glow sticks tied together.
Fantastic. PJ Black and Jack Evans end up just running away. They're like, we're not dealing with that.
Glow-in-the-dark nunchucks is next level shit.
And then as we saw at the end of season 1, both Drago and Aerostar are very good friends. They clasp hands, and we have the reuniting of Aerostar and Drago. I can almost assure that we'll have that tag team match next week.
You know what? I don't care if it's next week or the week after or at the Aztec Warfare event.
Or Ultima Lucha.
But I'm excited for that tag match.
Yeah, it'll be good. Then, we had what was supposed to be a one-on-one no disqualification match between Cage and Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Cage was already in the ring.
Because he's a machine.
We had Johnny Mundo's music hit, but we did not have Johnny Mundo make his way to ringside. We had Taya make her way.
Yeah, she introduced herself, and she was a complete bitch.
But she's hot.
She is.
And she had some very bold things to say to Cage.
Questioning his manhood quite a bit.
Yeah, saying, you call yourself a machine, but do you have the balls to face me? Because, well, Johnny's already beat you, so he doesn't really feel like he needs to do it again, but I wouldn't mind doing it. So we get a no disqualification match between Cage and Taya. This is fantastic. It was great. Like, she's really good in the ring. Her and Cage work together very well. She got her ass kicked in this match.
Yes.
On the outside, she got rammed into the railing that's in front of the fans, then turned around and rammed back first into the ring
like
post,
buckle bomb style, both
and
sides.
then dropped and hit her ass cheek on the stairs on the way down.
It'll give you a bad case of butt lock.
God. We had Cage pull out 2 tables, set them up on the outside, and then hit the superplex from the second rope. She's inside the ring. He grabs her and up over the ropes to the outside.
Almost Cesaro.
Crashing through 2 tables. And we're thinking, okay, it's got to be the end here. Then she ends up hitting him in the balls. She goes out and she grabs the lead pipe that Johnny Mundo used a couple weeks ago again, maybe it was last week against Cage. She tries to use it. It doesn't work. Johnny Mundo ends up running out and starts putting all of these things in the ring. There's a kettlebell. There's a cinder block. There's glass
bunch of beer bottles.
And so he gets in.
Some other workout equipment.
So he gets in. He starts getting involved. He ends up breaking I don't remember what Cage was. He tries to powerbomb Cage onto
Cage Alabama slams him out of it, and Mundo's hand came down and smashed one of the beer bottles.
Yeah, and so
which probably couldn't have felt good.
Probably not. Then Taya ends up getting. Taya ends up jumping on Cage, and then Mundo grabs 2 of the bottles, breaks one over the back of Cage's head, and Cage no-sells it. Then he breaks one on Cage's face. Cage doesn't sell it. Cage getting cut between the eyes, and just he is so done. Knocks the shit out of Johnny Mundo. And Johnny
retreats.
Yeah, he gets the hell out of the ring. He ends up hitting Weapon X on Taya, pins her, and Johnny's like, you know what? She'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I love it. He sets her up for Weapon X, and it cuts over to Johnny, and he's like, no, don't do it! And he hits her with the move, and it cuts back to Johnny. He's like, not cool, bro!
And he does, no, he's not even trying to get involved in this. He's staying very far away, but, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a female companion for Cage, and we'll get ourselves an intergender tag team match.
Cage, pick Mariposa.
God, no!
Freak everybody the fuck out.
No, let's not do that.
Pick Famous B.
Speaking of Famous B, don't be like Brenda. Call 423-GET-FAME, and he can turn you from a homeless woman with no job and no car. And then you can be famous. Yeah. He's got a wizard hat and a wand.
The magic touch.
Yeah.
The Famous B. What is up again? 423?
423-GET-FAME.
Which, post in the comments below and like this video. If we get enough likes and comments, we will call the number on an episode of The Rundown.
Yeah.
If you want us to get fame.
Or hit us up on Twitter with #GetFame.
Yeah, #GetFame, #Wrestling Rundown.
Yeah.
On a post.
And we'll
have them both.
We will record ourselves calling the number and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get famous that way.
Hey, we could get fame.
We'll have to find out. We also find out that Team Havoc will be getting their Trios Championship match next week. But there's a slight catch.
Yeah, if they lose, they don't get to come back.
No, they have to leave the temple.
You gotta hit the road, Jack.
And Helico wasn't
Don't you come back no more.
Really, bro?
Yeah.
Alright. And Helico wasn't too happy about this situation, but...
but then Evilise decides to turn it right back around on him. She's like, you said whatever it takes.
Yeah, see, you said whatever it takes, so this is your fault. My fault. Evilise bargaining for Trios Championship match. So we'll be getting Team Havoc versus the Disciples of Death next week for the Trios Championship. But speaking of championships,
and
three people, we have our triple threat for the Lucha Underground Championship. Mil Muertes defending against Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. And this match is fucking chaos.
But in the best way possible.
The best kind of chaos. Just dives everywhere.
I'm going to say this was the match of the week for the midweek wrap-up.
I'll agree.
Joe Zayn was good, but I felt like this was better.
Yeah, this was... you had the normal way a triple threat works. You got the 2 smaller guys ganging up on the bigger guys. So, obviously, Mil Muertes was the initial victim, where Pentagon and Puma started a double team on him.
And about 800 dives.
Yeah, at one point we had Pentagon Jr. and Puma both seeing who could dive better.
Yeah.
I think Puma won.
They also had a competition over who could super kick harder.
Yes. There was a super kick party, and it was all over Mil Muertes' face.
That's not the only kind of party going on in Mil Muertes' face.
No, because he's with Katrina, bro.
Katrina gives him a tongue party sometimes.
Yeah. She was at ringside.
I'm jelly.
No, you're not. You're Kevin Hawk.
Oh. I'm
You're
not jelly.
No, you're not.
Wow, things are looking up.
All right.
Wow, I spent the whole time thinking I was some jelly.
No, we had. I mean, everybody was hitting big moves. We didn't have any like outside weapon use. There was nothing. Nothing got.
It wasn't needed.
No, it was. We had three very different style wrestlers just going at it. Everyone hitting dives. Everyone hitting top rope moves.
A lot of fighting in the audience.
Yes, yeah, Puma and Pentagon went into the upper section of the crowd for a while. Muertes is throwing Pentagon into the floor seats, and then I thought he ripped a chair in half, but he didn't. It just looked like it. It was cool. But yeah, so we get eventually we get them all back in the ring. Puma hits a 630. And Muertes doesn't let that happen, and then Pentagon hits the package pile driver, and that doesn't happen.
And he goes to break Puma's arm.
Yeah, and
Muertes, who has been on the receiving end of this, has like a PTSD episode.
He's like, this.
He just starts spearing everything he can find, which happens to be Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma.
Yeah, and then both of them get picked up and hit with a double flatliner, and we have Mil Muertes retain the Lucha Underground Championship. But despite both of Pentagon and Puma getting licked, I want to be both of them. The celebration.
Yeah, really, I think they won.
This is true, but the celebration did not last long because Phoenix, the Gift of the Gods champion, would make his way to the top of the staircase and let Mil Muertes know that he is cashing in his Gift of the Gods championship for a championship match next week. We're getting 2 title matches next week.
Yeah.
Awesome. So,
yeah,
Mil Muertes was not happy about it.
Then Phoenix hit a pose and smoke came out, and that made Mil Muertes even more mad.
He did cop a feel on Katrina, though. That probably made him feel a little bit better.
Yeah, always.
2 title matches to look forward to next week on Lucha Underground. More build for NXT Dallas next week on NXT. Maybe Tyler Breeze will win a match next week on Main Event, but we won't know that till next week because that is the end of this week's midweek wrap-up. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to comment #GetFame, #Wrestling Rundown, or just comment about
hashtag those things on Facebook and Twitter and all other forms of social media.
Any Lucha Underground picture that we have on Instagram, we have a couple of them.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know how famous you want us to get.
Yeah.
How famous do you want us to be?
And you can find all those social medias with the links down in the description. Click them all.
There's a lot of them to click.
Subscribe and like and
Get
do
your
all that
clicking
fun
finger
stuff.
ready.
And share us. Share the video. Share your video with your friends or your enemies. Let somebody know that you watched this video. Or
let your enemies know.
Or let them know you listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Show your coworkers while you're supposed to be working.
Yeah, they're like friends and enemies at the same time. Depends on who they are. I mean, you know. But check out the podcast.
Show your significant others at inconvenient times.
Yeah. Like, just right in the middle of sex, be like, hey, did you check out the midweek wrap-up?
I wasn't thinking that inconvenient, but...
That's pretty inconvenient,
It is.
That's a pretty inconvenient time to just be watching the Wrestling Rundown, but we appreciate it. Wherever you want to watch us, just don't do anything weird. I guess sex would be weird.
Well, sex while watching us talk would be weird.
Hey, there's a playlist next to you.
Yep.
There's other videos up there. I mean, those of you listening to the podcast, you won't get that, but YouTubers, check out the playlist. We got the Raw review. We got this midweek wrap-up. We got SmackDown Rundown coming up next We'll have Thomas's top 5 for the month of February, but mostly March. And we will have the indie news and possibly a review and maybe we might have predictions for Roadblock attached to SmackDown. And we might have a review video post Roadblock.
I think it all depends on how much happens on SmackDown.
That's true. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. You missed everybody.
Bad Terry Funk.
Fuck Alex Riley.
Yeah, fuck Alex Riley. Especially if he's this ladder.